us, and a very good introduction was done by my boss. But before I go to point number 2, let me just throw a little bit on the report itself and the cover letter sent to the press. Because before I go in detail to your answer, I need to look at what is this document all about. Like if you look at the letter, it said the normalization committee. Do we have a normalization committee or a normalization person? Because what surprised me, I expect the committee is headed by the chairperson, which is Obi Konate. But in some instances, if there are issues you talk to Obi, he said, I'm not aware of such decisions. And today I know if Obi is not part of these decisions, he should come out plain to people and said, well, I'm not aware of whatever decision is being taken. Because if you look at Obi Konate, what he did in football in this country, he had a lot of respect from people. So we don't expect a person of his type to be involved in such. Because to be honest with you, MS, I don't regard this document and the decision of this committee because, as he said, this is a disciplinary committee set up by the committee or a person. If an inquiry committee is set up, you should be able to give chance to all the parties involved before you come with your final recommendation. And according to them, they were using the management letters to come with whatever decision they have here. Management letter, the purpose of a management letter is to advise the management of an institution to improve on certain areas observed by the auditors. Does not mean that, you know, there are activities, especially in these reports, fraudulent. There is no fraudulent activity. So for me, I'm not worried in whatever is said in this document. Because if you look at point number 1, executive subcommittee meeting minutes, where the executive is at the Secretary General, he knows what happened with the executive. During the time of audit, there were issues. The auditors asked for executive meeting minutes. At that time, Jame being the head of the Secretariat and the Secretary General for that matter, being the custodian of these minutes, was not in office. You cannot get access to the minutes. So that's why it came as a point in the management letter. But there was a response from the management to auditors with that regard. So I expect this committee to have the management, the observation from the auditors versus the response from the management to do justice to this document. But that is not done. That's why I said I don't have that much regard for this document. The point number 2, where you said the $250,000 from FIFA, yes, this amount was received from FIFA. But before it was received, this was announced in 2010, June, in South Africa during the FIFA Congress, where Steve Blatter said $250,000 will be given to all national associations as bonus. This is different from the FAP annual FAP budget that we received. But even this $250,000, we were asked to send a budget of how is we going to spend it. In that budget, there is a budget line called planning and administration. That planning and administration covered all expenses relating to staff motivation, staff training, salaries, any other thing relating to administration of football and football development in particular, relating to personnel. This budget was approved by FIFA, and the money was sent based on the request from the Secretary General, being the head of the Secretariat, authorized by the Executive Committee. The funds were paid in our account at GT Bank in 2010. When the funds came, there was an executive meeting. At this executive meeting, there was a proposal from the former third vice president, Adam Hala Samba, who proposed to the Executive Committee that GFA staffs sacrificed a lot. MS, if you are an outsider, you will not know how GFA staff suffered, because the environment where they work in is not that very much conducive. But we have to take football at heart, sacrifice a lot for the country. We use our own personal cars, drive to the office, fuel our own cars. My boss is here. He has never given me a coupon for my transport. You know, a lot of things has happened. So now, this money paid to staffs as loan, I'm not seeing this as a crime. It was discussed by the Executive Committee, and it's the Executive Committee that agreed how much should be given to each staff. It was the Secretary General communicated this decision to the Accounts Department. Accounts, I am head of the Accounts Department. I have been in control of a loan unit at one of our credible institutions before I joined GFA. So I know how loans are managed. I designed a loan application form. I told the Secretary General, yes, despite there is an approval from the Executive Committee, but all staffs must apply this loan before finally the checks will be raised. The forms were issued out, staffs filled the forms, and they were also asked to go and look for a guarantor. In case, if they default, we will know how to recover those monies. Approval was given, the loan was disbursed. This was picked by the KPMG audit in 2010. I have that correspondence from FIFA, which was sent to GFA that they are sending an external auditors to come and spot check our financial operation of the FAB 2010. These auditors came from KPMG Senegal. We were audited, and this was picked, plus one other major query, which was why we should use almost 86,000 US dollar on the national teams. It was queried, and the same KPMG audit also queried why we give this loan to staffs from the bonus. It was queried, and when the management letter was sent to FIFA, FIFA wrote the Secretary General. I have that correspondent with me here. If you want, you can just vet it. This is from the FIFA Finance. Yeah, they were asked about the 86,000 US dollars here, and the other query is the loan repayment. But what FIFA was interested, they asked the Secretary General to provide an explanation of why the loan was given to staffs, which he did, and there is a reply of that letter to FIFA dated July 25, 2011. There was a reply to FIFA with regards to that. FIFA finally said, if you can see here, they just want an agreement, the loan agreement, and the repayment schedule.
Okay.
This was prepared and sent to FIFA, because up to today, GFA staffs are repaying this loan. It's not a gift. Okay. And I think any institution like Grts Television, your staffs are likely entitled to staff loan.
All right, Kim, I'm not cutting you short, but it is contained in the release that these loans were secured without proper collateral. You understand? And there are no proper mechanism for the refunding of these these loans taken by
yeah, that's why I said probably they do not do their investigation thoroughly. Because if you go to GFA Accounts Department, there is a file for these loans. Staff who benefited these loans, the applications are filed. And you look at the payroll printout, you will see a payment schedule. All the pay slips will tell you how much is deducted from our salaries monthly and pays to repay this loan. So if that is stated here, I don't have any respect for the document. That's what I'm saying.
Can I comment on that? Okay. You're talking of a collateral. Sorry, you're talking of a collateral. I mean, government gives 1/6, but do you need to bring your title deed for that? These are institutional institutional arrangements. You control my salary. You give me a loan every month. You deduct it. Let me just be guaranteed by my co-staff or some other person. That's it for a payment. But you don't need a collateral like a title deed for I don't know, a staff loan. You don't. That is and honestly, is it a crime? Let me ask you: is it a crime to give a loan to motivate your staff? Is it a crime?
All right.
If it is a crime, then I'll be prepared to go to the gallows.
All right. Kemo, this FAP money.
Sorry, it is not FAP. It is not the FIFA financial assistance.
Okay.
It is a bonus from the World Cup qualifiers.
Right.
That is different from the FAP.
I've been signaled that we are running out of time because I've just been signaled that we have 3 minutes left. Let's run down the things quickly. Payment of vouchers are some of the things that have been raised.
Payment vouchers.
Yes, payment vouchers.
Payment vouchers. Those are minor things, because like I don't call those things because it's not a crime. There is nothing fraudulent. That's because due to time factor, what I can tell you is the management, if this is the findings, if these 5 points are the key findings from the work of the disciplinary committee, then definitely a big credit to the former management of the GFA. Because this audit, management letters is 36 months that they're talking about, 3 years, 2009, 10 and 11. So from that, the major risks that they've seen is lack of meeting minutes, giving loan to staffs, and payment vouchers not approved. Payment vouchers not approved. If you ask them, those who did the inquiry, it will not be more than 3-4 vouchers, and those are human errors.
So just to wrap up, if I got you guys very well, that you have not done any foul play which should warrant you banned for five years.
Exactly so. I said it in the beginning. I said it in the beginning the panel, the so-called panel of experts, that's the disciplinary committee, should have called us